Hello, welcome back to another video. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Justin and today I'm back in the studio, or my home office stroke desk. But I'm back in the studio and today I wanted to share with you my 5 main income streams. Now I'm not doing this to brag or to show off that I have more than 1 or 2 income streams. I'm purely doing this because I often get asked on Instagram what different income streams I have. How do I raise money? How do I save money for future property or to run businesses and to afford a certain lifestyle? Now my lifestyle isn't extreme, so just to let you know that I don't live a massively abundant lifestyle. I live quite conservatively because what I'm trying to do right now is save a lot of my income to reinvest. But moving straight into the topic of the video, which is my 5 main income streams. Starting with number 1, my first income stream is my job. My full-time job working for an American company. I work in sales and helping them drive forward the sales of their trade shows, their exhibitions. Now I've done this for about 3 to 4 years now. Really enjoy it, love working there. You probably know that previously I worked as an estate agent for 7 years and left that job. I sold a house to a gentleman. He then encouraged me to come and work for this company and pushed me to come and take the job, and I'm really glad he did because it's a great company to work for, offers me a great work-life balance, which means I can invest on the side and grow a property portfolio. Now, income stream number 2. It's got to be my passion. It's got to be property. Now, property is what got me into the investing world. It's what opened that door for me. And I want to continue investing into property by buying buy-to-lets over the upcoming years. Now my buy-to-let at the moment, which I bought last year in 2019, I own that up north, and that produces me a small amount of profit per month. So I rent the property out, then you deduct certain costs like mortgage, insurance, managing agent, etc. And then you're left with a profit margin each month, and provided that no maintenance comes up, that's fairly consistent, that I earn a certain amount per month. So that's my income stream number 2, and potentially the one I'm most proud of because, as I say, property is my passion and that's what got me into this investing world and creating a bigger and better life for myself. Income stream number 3, and brand new for 2020, is YouTube. YouTube is been one of the biggest game changers for me this year, and in terms of raising my social media profile, but actually it's now a revenue stream. I'm sure you might have seen my previous video, which I'll link up here, which I talk about the fact that I do actually earn money from YouTube, which I'm incredibly grateful for. I never started YouTube to earn money, believe it or not. I actually just wanted to increase my property network, but because before 2020, social media, networking and property actually wasn't that big a thing. You'd have to go to a physical event, you'd have to try and get out there and network. But now, because of 2020, the social media, the networking side of things is really booming, which is brilliant, and it means I've been able to connect with lots of like-minded property people. But going back to 2019, when I wanted to start my property business, when I wanted to buy a buy-to-let, open a limited company, and go through those right steps and right processes in the right order, there was limited information. There was a few articles maybe which I read online, but no one was sharing their journey. So when I bought my buy-to-let, I said to myself, not only am I going to use YouTube and Instagram as a way of networking, but I'm also going to use it as a way of just teaching others that it's easy and this is how you do it, this is the process. When I say investing in property is easy, I mean it's easy to get started, but obviously it's not easy the whole way through. So that's what kick-started my YouTube journey. Back in sort of February this year, I started to take it more seriously, and then going into March, April, May, when lockdown came in, that's when my channel got shared around a lot and started to grow, and I went basically from about 10 or 13, I think it was, subscribers, all the way up to, well, what am I at now? Nearly 15,000, which I'm incredibly grateful for. And as I say, really grateful for the fact it's also turned into an income stream, because that makes it really worthwhile to share more information with you, so I can take the money that I earn from YouTube, I can then invest that into property again in a few months further down the line. I can then make more content about my property investing and then share that with you, and it's this vicious circle which I want to build up, and I want it to gain momentum so I can keep investing, keep sharing it and helping you guys out as well. Now, income streams 4 and 5 are where my brand comes in, where my own personal brand comes in off the back of YouTube and Instagram. You know, I created a website called justinwilkins.co.uk, and it was meant to at first be somewhere in which people could get in contact with me if they had further questions. However, being that my channel boomed this year, which I'm ever so grateful for, because it boomed, I then had a massive influx of emails and calls and people requesting to have calls with me, and I completely lost track and became overwhelmed. And in all honesty, at one point I just shut down, and I just had so many people getting in contact, which is amazing, that I lost control and felt overwhelmed. So that's me being honest. So I managed to eventually work my way through the majority of those, and I've tried to catch up with all those emails and calls, but it's at a certain point I brought in a paid one-to-one call, and that was to really regain control and say, look, I haven't got that much free time because I'm doing, you know, working full time, I'm doing property, I'm doing YouTube, and I'm doing a couple other side things, that I haven't necessarily got time to be talking to 10 people every evening after I finish work. So therefore what I did is I brought in paid one-to-one calls. Now, I want to stress that I'm not an expert in property, I'm not an expert in YouTube. However, I can do these paid one-to-one calls because everyone has something to share. Everyone has something that you're knowledgeable in that someone else doesn't know, and that you can share it. And that was, I guess, where this came in for me. I know the process inside out now for opening a limited company, for buying your first property, for researching an investment area. So it was those things that I wanted to share with someone that was maybe 6 months behind or 12 months behind. You know, like me back in 2019, where I was lost and didn't know where to find out this information. I would have loved the opportunity to have booked in a call with someone and just picked their brain for 45 minutes or for an hour. And of course, last but by no means least, is the long game t-shirts, or the long game clothing, which I do hope will become more in the future as I turn more time and focus into that. Eventually I'm going to look to create more pieces of clothing and perhaps more designer led bits of clothing. But for the time being, I just wanted to create a t-shirt that was able to unite the finance industry, essentially unite us as investors and finance people to stand against those get rich quick schemes, and say, look, you know, it's not an overnight thing. Let's build wealth over the long term, and, you know, let's enjoy it by kind of uniting together. So I'm grateful to anyone that's bought a t-shirt, because that's another income stream for me, and it helps support me, the channel, and my investing, and that's my 5th and final revenue stream. Now, I have to say that I do obviously do a couple other side businesses. They're sort of small things on the side. I kind of dip in and out of them. You know, take eBay for example. You know, I sell a lot of products on eBay. I love the flip life after all, but it's not a full-time focus for me. I just have products on there. When they sell, I ship them, and when I get a chance, I go out and I buy more products. So it's not something I'm heavily focused on. It's just another sideline income stream. I just wanted us to end this video on an important note, and that is that all of these income streams that I've shared, yes, there's 5 or potentially 6 or 7 if you include the other little ones, but say there's 5 main income streams. We actually only live off of one. So we both work full time, we both have a full-time income from our jobs, and we just live off of those 2 incomes. But the remaining side incomes that I've just explained to you, you know, property, YouTube, one-to-one calls, long game clothing, and the others, you know, eBay, so on, that's all going back into my limited company. It's all being reinvested into my property business. I want to take the money that I earn from my income streams, I want to reinvest it into my business, buy assets that earn me an income, document it, and repeat that journey. And I think that's potentially where some people go wrong, is that they see the big bucks, or they see the money, not that I'm there yet, but if they see a bit of money and they start to spend it, they want to spend it. Well, what if I can take this money and for the first 3 years, the first 5 years, just continually reinvest it into my business? Well, you're going to create an even bigger business. That's the goal anyway. So I thought that'd be important to share with you that, you know, I'm not living this lavish lifestyle. I'm just living off of one of those income sources. The rest are being reinvested, and I'm hoping to share my journey of buying more properties with you very soon, going into 2021. I appreciate you watching my channel and continuing to support. I hope you enjoy and find these kind of videos useful. And I guess all that's left to be said is I'll see you in the next video.